Welcome to DK Champ. I wanted to go over the lineup for today. It is 11:14, and today's lineup has 11 games in it. So it is a big slate, and there is quite a bit of value available. And I want to show you some of these guys. So we'll go to the utility spot here. And one guy that's probably going to be chalk for everybody tonight is going to be Cunningham. Looking at potentially filling in and getting some extra minutes here. We'll go and put him in the small forward spot, but probably going to be seeing a huge minute increase. And we can take a look at him here, see how he does with these minutes. You can see when he gets the minutes, he's not been crazy on production, but he's going to produce in this matchup. Phoenix being a pretty bad basketball team, I think Cunningham will be able to step up here and help us out. So I'm going to give you mostly sleeper picks tonight. I think you have to have sleepers in your lineup to be able to be successful. I'm not going to give you any advice on these high tier guys. You'll have to pick who you like when it's all said and done. But I'll give you a couple sleepers and then give you a couple games to look at and do some research on because things could change in these games. So if we scroll down, the last time I looked, Meritage was questionable. If he doesn't play, then you have to go to Randall. That is an absolute must. So keep Randall on your radar tonight. Wait until you find out what's going on with Meritage, but things aren't looking too good as of right now. If Meritage goes, then he might even be a play himself, but I usually don't like to play guys as they come back from injury, so I would probably fade him, but you never know. So Randall is going to be one of those mid-tier options. I'll put him up here, but do not play him if Meritage is in the game because that's going to change the way the game is going to be played with Randall being in there or Randall not being in the game as much. So keep an eye on that. Next person that I like is Burton's. And what I'll do, just to make things a little bit easier to show you why we're looking at these guys, is going to be the San Antonio game. Gay is going to be out, and people are going to be looking to fill that void here with Gay. See, Cunningham's names pops up, Burton's pops up, but I'll tell you another one that could potentially be a guy that's going to get some time, and that's White. Where is he? Okay, here. Derek White up here at 47 has been receiving some more minutes here recently and can fill a number of positions. So he's going to be one not to fade at all. He could potentially get the minutes here. You also have Gasol out. So there's going to be some crazy looking lineups here. So Burton's, when he gets in and plays, he has usually a hit or miss game. Like we said before, we're going against Phoenix, so it is probably a good spot to have him into your lineup. So I'm going to put him here. And what I want to do is just give you some guys that have the potential. Now, I wouldn't play all these guys in the same lineup. I would try to mix and match so that you could get the tier guys that you wanted. And we'll go ahead and add White in as well. So these are my guys that I think are going to have decent games. They're not going to blow it out. They're not going to have, 50 fantasy points, except for Randall has that capability if Meritage is out. So these are guys that really look like they have the potential to do really well. If you're going to fade one, I would say fade Cunningham, but I kind of like his opportunity here, so you can't really fade him too much. Another game that I want to show you that looks really interesting is going to be Memphis, and looking at this game as well, there is some injuries here, but all these injuries come in the lower tier guys. So when you look at who could potentially be stepping up here, you have someone like Mac who is going to be in the rotation a little bit more than usual, and you can see he has been in the past couple games, and he's been able to produce decently well. I mean, if you can get 21 points out of a guy that's 38, you're doing pretty daggone good. I would take that any day. So, take a look at these guys. Brooks is another one. Has been stepping up in minutes here. We just don't know, so much uncertainty with these guys. It's tough to play them, but all these guys have a pretty good shot of getting in and seeing some time, but they're not going to be your starters. So it makes it a little bit tricky on that regard, that your starters are going to be playing majority of the minutes, but depending on how this game flows, they may need to rotate some guys in. Temple is going to be another one that is, I mean, he's been consistent no matter what, but you can see against Utah, he had 34 minutes and only 8 points. So these guys are questionable in what they would do, and if I had to pick one of them, I'm going to go with Mac. Mac has been the most consistent player of these guys, and I think he is going to be the best one to play in your spot. So these are the guys that, to me, you don't play all these guys together. You rotate them through, put a couple in a lineup. Like you may want to stack like Mac, Burton's, and White in a lineup, and then get all studs and the rest of them. And then you can go, do Cunningham, Burton's, and Mac, and that's giving you all guys that's going to leave you about 10,000 average for the remaining players. So just kind of rotate them around and see what you can get out of it. Those are the guys that I like for that piece of it. So other people that I like, and I'll just run through them real quick, but your studs, I'm going to leave those alone, let you work on that stuff yourself. But when we go through, some people that could potentially see some more run tonight is going to be Russell at 67. Injuries have led. Let's go back to the Brooklyn game, because both of these guys are on Brooklyn, so that'll be easier to look at that way. But Brooklyn, with LeVert being out, I don't know if you all know, but he had a pretty significant injury. Carted off, and he's going to have surgery, so he's going to be out for a while. So when LeVert's out, you're going to see some guys stepping up into this role that has some guys that are lower priced that can potentially get some value here. So I like Dinwiddie in this position. He's going to get a little bit more minutes. He's been consistent at this price, so take a look at him at 49. And then my favorite pick of this piece is going to be Russell at 67. Russell's getting a run anyway, but he's going to step in, and you can see what he did that night is he went for almost 50, and for 67, that's a pretty substantial piece there. And, defense is going to be decent for Miami, but I think Russell will have a pretty good shot here. Another person that you could take advantage of, I think Winslow could potentially be a step up here and play in a role going against a guy that's not getting as many minutes. So Winslow's a good option there. And then I also like Magruder here. And, he's been on a little bit of fall off. His salary has dropped, pretty substantial amount. He was up to 67 at one point, I believe. He was at, 64 was his highest, but you can see he's started dropping down from that point. But he's going to be in for a run too, depending on where he plays on the court any given night. But I like him in some lineups too. So good luck picking your studs tonight, and I hope that this is helpful. I know it's a lot of information, and it's really not giving you a lineup per se, because I'm not going to play all these guys in the same lineup. Like I said, I just want to give you some options if you were looking for some cheaper guys, and these are the guys right here. So these guys will be a decent option for you to play if you were trying to go with some studs tonight. Now, another lineup that might be helpful to do, I'm probably going to run about 6 lineups tonight. And another one that would be helpful would be to put in just your mediocre guys, all the guys that are right around the $6,000 to $7,000 range, and just hope that they all go off at the same time. And that's possible with tonight's slate with 11 games, and that may be the one that ends up doing it, because a lot of people are going to be playing these cheaper guys trying to get the studs in. So I hope this helps, and I hope you all enjoyed the lineup last night. I hope you won a lot of money with that. And if you did, leave a comment. And if you like this, let me know what you think. And if you don't like it, leave me some comments on what you think would be a better option. So thanks for watching.